Getting set for our first semifinal, and John Beilein, 42-year-old coach of the Golden Griffins of Canisius, as we look at our Wolverine starting lineups. And Bam Moore, kind of the leader in the backcourt, the leading assist man on this team, just a sophomore and making a homecoming here. He's from Brooklyn. Thompson, Wise, Barley, and Meeks round out the starting five for Canisius. Bill Foster, what a job he's done with a limited supply of people. He'll play 6 players, and that is really about it. But a good 6 players it is, and they have proven very solid, and Sean Good has been better than that through the NIT. He's the man in the backcourt to watch with Watlington, Custis, who Raph talked about, Sean Smith and Travis Jackson, who hit the huge three-pointer that got him here to New York in the semifinals. And Bill Foster says, I think only 2 of my kids have ever been to New York City. So they're having a time, and we are set for game 1. Jerry Petro's our referee, Sam Banks and Steve Olson, the other 2 officials. And the 58th National Invitation Tournament set to gear up from the Garden.
Some great faces in the audience. Judd Heathcote going to be honored later.
Got some Judd thuds going on. He doesn't have to hit himself in the head. He doesn't have to worry about who wins these games.
Bad hands late in his career, too. Well, the ball slipping through. John Bach, another honoree, now with the Charlotte Hornets as the assistant coach.
Marquette and Penn State will be in the nightcap tonight. And Dean Meminger, who is a tremendous player, here to help celebrate a 25th anniversary of Marquette winning an NIT title. So we're set as Meeks and Custis will gear up. Here we go in the NIT.
And the Griffs start out man-to-man, Brad Nessler.
Good looking inside to Jackson.
This is a good inside passing team. The one thing that concerned John Beilein was their ability.
Sean Smith underneath with a tough offensive rebound. Now Jackson will try again. He won't miss the second time.
Finishes. You had that game of Providence. He hangs around, does a solid job.
Here's Bam Moore at the point of Bishop Ford High in Brooklyn.
And they go 23, 2-3 zone.
Most teams start with man just so you can say that.
Distracted, huh? Good perimeter passing. The roll of the post.
Under 10 on the shot clock on the opening possession for the Golden Griffins. And the long jumper is too deep. Craig Wise.
It does show you his range, though. I mean, he's proficient from deep.
Here he is defensively on Smith. Smith, the wide body, goes down baseline and threw it away. Sweet pea or big house, take your choice. Depends on if you're a friend or not, I guess.
I like big house.
Yeah, me too.
And then run.
Or sweet pea and really hustle out of it.
Sweet pea only when you're with your mom. Little lock low. There's Meeks. Nice little dump down.
Good look inside, and Meeks walked with it. Good defense to force Meeks to go up in the air and come back down with a basketball. So 1 turnover each way.
Canisius in 1963, the last time they were here. Gil O'Connor, then drafted by the Knickerbockers. I was about 3 or 4.
Sure you were. Of course you were. This is their 5th NIT appearance, and it's their longest season ever, meaning longer from front to end in the most games ever played. And that's because they've reached this far. Never had 3 postseason wins in school history before, and they've got City of Buffalo going nuts over this team. Nice look down low. Custis missed in deep. Nice job defensively. Barley got a hand in there. And now they run. Nice adjustment in midair by Craig Wise.
Both coaches, pretty standard man-to-man people, but over the years, Bill has played some zone and then a little mix-up at this end the last trip. A little trap on the wing.
He's really got to mix it both on offense and defense with really only 6 players. If we see a 7th, it's a possibility, but it might surprise us.
You know, they call a timeout in warm-ups. They don't have enough guys for later.
3-pointer from Watlington.
3-point, a penetrator. He's quick to the 3-second area. I think that's why you see the zone. These guards are solid.
He's their best 3-point shooter. Virginia Tech up 5-2. Almost 3 minutes into our first game of 2 tonight. Here's a 3 on the other end. Way off the mark for Kevin Thompson.
He's been struggling. I think he's 1 out of his last 18. SID gave me that note. That's extraordinary. So they're trying to, they started him, trying to get him comfortable.
Costas kicks outside to Good. Good in Watlington. That backcourt combination might be the best remaining here in the NIT, Rap.
Very solid. That Providence game showed that, didn't it?
Yep.
And I think they're going man-to-man on misses. Keep it simple.
Smith, Wise blocked it. And the Golden Griffins will push it. Wise wheels through traffic and leaves it out for Thompson, a miss. Meeks. Whoa, Travis Jackson way up for the rebound.
Ooh, hops, huh? Everybody talking says he knows the game.
Costas on a turn.
There's your guy, a little push underneath.
Chance to make it a three-point play.
I think Larry did the game with him, if I'm not mistaken. And their inside passing ability, and if you don't double him, and John Beilein very concerned about assisting. Let everybody stay at home. That's really a small change. Foul. Go the other way, fellas. He's tough all alone. Puts a lot of pressure on your big guy.
Chris Young comes in. He is a dangerous three-point shooter for Canisius. Custis, a 6'7" sophomore. They're trying to cap off a three-point play out of Eastville, Virginia. Grace has got his first three of the ball game. 8-2, 6-point Virginia Tech lead.
And Wise, that last penetration, I thought should have shot the basketball instead of kicking down. Kevin gets the yank, and Young pops in now because he can shoot it, as you noted.
It's looked out to him. Stripped away by Good. And now Watlington comes up ahead to Good.
Oh, that was plenty. Good.
Nice elevation there. 10-2. Virginia Tech. The Hokies showing why they are considered the favorite now in the NIT Final Four. Meeks on a wheel. Talk to people. Research.
Read your daily. Stayed up man, so they're just calling it from the bench now. That was on a make. They stayed the man-to-man.
15-20 to go first half. All Virginia Tech so far. Working around the perimeter as the Golden Griffins do a nice job of their interior defense. They're double teaming Smith. He still puts up a shot. Jackson tried to tip it in, and he drew a foul.
Pretty active guy. In watching your game, he's very good when the ball is passed, getting into a passing lane, Travis Jackson, but you can see the ability to rebound. This is a solid group, and I honestly believe as a coach, the less decisions, the better. You know, if your guys are solid guys, they're going to play. They're comfortable. They've got a guy who's been down the road a few spots successfully, Bill Foster, so easier for him.
Still in his fourth year in Blacksburg, but his 28th year as a head basketball coach. As Graf said, he's been there before. Jackson got the second. 3 for him for the game, and a 9-point advantage as Watlington to Good has given Virginia Tech the big edge. He's have had their way with Canisius so far. 11-2 in the first 5 minutes.
So thinking back, take a look at Bill Foster, those Clemson days. Took a few years off. I took a few years off. Nobody called. I guess I should have read into it, but it didn't affect me.
You bounced back. You're resilient.
Still a little zone look.
Inside, a little too strong by Meeks. The rebound comes off to Custis. We'll keep track of his numbers. He's the kind of guy that can give you a triple-double on any night almost.
Against that zone, they're going to have to be patient and slide a guy baseline. Pass to the corner and the short side, and they might get some opportunities. Good
Custis,
pass.
great speed on that pass.
He does a little bit of everything. It's amazing how many good players there are in the country. You just don't get a chance to see them, and he is one of them. Look at those guards, too. Good has great size.
11-point lead. Right now, Canisius only 1 field goal, and they're going to go to the free throw line here as Watlington picks up the foul.
And then once again, Wise able to get into the middle. This one from the top. But we mentioned the ability to pass generally from the box area, but now he brings the big guy out. A little back screen by TJ, Travis Jackson, and the rest rather simple, but good look and a good feel with one another this team has.
Here's the MAC Player of the Year. Third in scoring, 7.5 rebounds, and only 6'4", making his 101st career start.
And out of Central High in Philly, which is one of the renowned bastions of secondary ed in that city.
Well, that point ends an 11-0 run. The hook comes out. Meeks had it halfway down, and Travis Jackson pulls off the rebound. 6 minutes in and a 10-point Hokie lead.
Overload, go box to box for Jackson.
Custis threw it away. And then James lost the handle going the other way. Turnover for turnover, and Smith on the other end. Chance for a three-point play.
And a good call, too. The big fella trying to get down, didn't get himself set. Well, he was Sweet Pea on this and Big House all in one play.
That's right.
Sweet Pea with the agility in the open floor. And it brings to mind Clarence Big House Gaines. Great nickname. But they don't run a whole lot.
You've got a little kiss there, right?
Yeah, a little touch by the fella.
6'6" junior out of Gastonia, North Carolina. Jackson got another rebound. Jackson's had enough attempts in close.
He sure has. He used that dribble to get some hops in his game. It didn't work.
12-point lead. Wise outside. Off the mark again. The three-pointers have been way off. 0 for 3 for the Golden Griffins, and none of them really even close.
They alternate that little box area. Travis Jackson and Custis generally down there, and Sean Smith close up as well. So it's a pretty free-flowing offense.
Barley comes back in.
Well, it's got a little of the Bulls look, this offense. Speaking of which, you think these kids are happy to be in the tournament because they're in the NIT, or they're getting a chance to see Michael tomorrow night?
That's right. Michael in here against the Knicks tomorrow. Good. Nice lead for Jackson, and a block, but a foul as Wise got him inside.
Brad, both guards are terrific at getting into that 3-second area, and as the defense steps up to acknowledge, they're good without the basketball. You can see the little slide by. He understands the game.
Travis 6'8", 242 out of Peterstown, West Virginia.
They wise up pretty good with a lot of ball, but the body down low. John Beilein, his uncles Joe and Tom Nyland. Now, I know you're from the Midwest. Tom Nyland's one of those great names in basketball up in Syracuse. The Lemoyne for years, so well respected. Used to drive the clubs in New York nuts, the Ionas and St. Peters of the world.
And John talking about his uncles today. Shoot around. There's a shot that John desperately needed his team to drop in. Ramon James just inside the three-point line.
And speaking of Canisius, 21 away games. I mean, the Jesuits trying to get even with John, you think?
And they had, of their 33 games, 21 of them with 1 day rest or no rest. That's an NBA schedule.
Now, did you ever go to the mine shaft at UNC Charlotte?
Yes, I did.
And they won there. Impossible, right?
They won in a lot of weird places. At Penn, at Cincinnati. Manhattan and Bradley on the road. Bradley had won, what, 31 of their last 33 before they got them in the tournament.
Incredible finish to that one, huh?
Smith, the left hook won't go. Custis flew in to try to follow it and couldn't connect.
Tried a redo. Should have grabbed it with 2.
Wise slices inside.
Boy, he is effective. Forget the jumper for a while.
He looks bigger than 6'4". Maybe it's because he plays about 2 or 3 inches bigger than that. Lead cut back to 10. Travis Jackson. Well, that's the kind of shot that helped them get here. He is not a big outside shooter. He buries that one. He's got 6.
He finds holes, though, in the defense. That time he took advantage of the baseline in the zone. Pretty pass.
Oh, almost missing the jam. Collins hung on and hung in there.
That was almost a rattler, huh? That could have been embarrassing. What did you say to me before the game? The little guys like to dunk. The big guys
like to shoot threes, and nobody shoots free throws worth a darn.
The whole outside practice in the jumper.
Watlington, there's an outside jumper. That's his second triple of the night. Averaging over 38 minutes of play in the NIT. Of course, they have to. They have no depth, but he plays 38.5 minutes every night.
And how about the percentage from deep? 36%. Pretty darn good.
So the lead back up to 13. That three-pointer rolls out off the miss from James. Kept alive. And he'll ditch it outside to Young. Rebound underneath. Nice position.
Real good job. Twice. Great sequence for the big fella.
Collins, a 6'9" sophomore out of Michigan. Almost the midway point, first half, first game of 2 semifinals of the NIT from Madison Square Garden. Brad Nessler, Bill Raftery with you. And kicked away. Chris Young knocks that one away and gives us a timeout with 10:06 to go first half. Virginia Tech right now has got Canisius doubled.
Back here in New York, and I'm glad to see you stayed out of trouble over the weekend, but the defense does not get down and set, and a terrific, or at least a wise opportunity for Canisius. Great release at the end, little array in his arsenal, but beat him down might be a key. Neither club a fast breaking team, they're an opportunity break team, John said.
Only active coach with 20 or more wins at 4 different levels. As you see what Canisius has done this year, closing in on a school record, and Raft mentioned 63 the last time they were in a semifinal in the NIT.
And you know who won it that year? Providence College with Vinnie Ernst and Mayor Flynn. Ray Flynn, the Boston mayor. Now I think he's the ambassador to the Vatican.
Buffalo's mayor's a Canisius graduate, and he's one of their craziest fans. Has not missed a game.
Straight up man, and they're not doubling at all.
Custis from 17, and a rebound comes off to Collins, who's been impressive off the Golden Griffins bench. They got to look to this guy. Meeks got his own rebound. He just can't find the basket. Kicked away by Frazier.
And you're right about Meeks. He's had good opportunity. They're letting the pass in. He's just not able to convert. What I've been impressed with Canisius, John, so relaxed and composed. They didn't have their legs. Now they got a little bit of a comfort zone, don't you think?
They say that they really reflect his personality, and they stay in, and they have gotten behind a lot. One of their folks, one of the local writers says if they get behind, even in double figures, wave off Sean Smith's basket, offensive foul. They said if Canisius gets behind by double figures, tell everybody not to turn their TVs off, because they've overcome double-digit deficits 10 times in the last 2 years to win ball games.
Now, Sean Smith was big house on that move. Cleared everybody out. Strong, aggressive move to the goal.
He brought the house and both garage doors with him.
And while we were chatting, David Jackson stuck in the game. Good three-point shooter. Maybe open things up for the big guys.
Wise got a pick from Collins. Got a good look, and he still didn't get the 3 to go.
Little man look that trip.
Custis got away from Wise and lays it off to Watlington, who's perfect out there. 3 for 3. Huge shots by Watlington. The lead's 14 again.
Not bad perimeter people right now. Flare to the corner.
James. Collins again keeps it alive. A little strong off the glass. As Wise and Smith battle for the rebound. Last touch by Craig Wise, out of bounds to Virginia Tech with 8:27 left first half.
And Collins giving them some good minutes. A good release there with his kiss, but the rebounding and solid on this end.
Canisius only 6 of 20 from the field. That's not helping him. Sean Smith, nice cut. Came out on him, though.
Great look as he rolled.
Three-pointer. Three-pointers are not dropping. Wise underneath, though. Cleans up.
If they're soft enough, you can do that, but some of them have been harsh.
Virginia Tech's lead a dozen. Jackson kicks it back out. Good moves it. They move it well around to get the shot from the baseline from Custis.
Now that's old-time coaching. Would you say everybody gets a feel?
Everybody touched it.
Let me touch it.
27-13.
We used to play Canisius in the Buffalo Odd when I was in school as they get the walk.
Turnover Canisius, and with 7.5 minutes left first half, they've turned over a commanding 14-point lead to Virginia Tech. 14 with 7.5 left in our first game of a doubleheader. Don't forget, coming up, it'll be Penn State of the Big Ten, Marquette of the Great Midwest. Our nightcap at a doubleheader in the NIT semifinals. Penn State, the lone remaining Big Ten team. 6 of them got to the NCAA and got slapped around a little bit. And Penn State had to beat Iowa, the other remaining NIT team, to get here. 67-64. Well, that one's coming up later. Right now, we've got Canisius trying to battle back from being down 14.
And Brad, how about Bill Foster bringing last year's group with them?
Is that a great touch?
Yeah, they had a great year last year. Were sick when they didn't get invited. And brought those seniors back this year.
They won 18 ball games last year, and with that, the seniors have made the trip to New York as part of the Virginia Tech entourage from Blacksburg.
A little upset there as Meeks held the center. He couldn't step to the basketball.
Approaching the 7-minute mark. Let's see if the Golden Griffins can start to warm it up. They have been ice cold from the field.
And they get comfortable against the zone. They switch back to man-to-man, pull the plug on them a little bit.
Bam Moore cross courts to Thompson. Now they pack it in low. Let's see if Meeks, he's double teamed, and it's stolen away by Good. Goes right back though. And the other way, chance for a three-point play for Beilein.
And offering it up. It's a shame reaction-wise that David Jackson went to the man. If he stayed there, he may have picked up the charge. But a little excitement on the block. One of the few times we've seen a double down there. And you mentioned the triple.
Boy, a lot of white jerseys around Meeks.
And right here, the giveaway, huh? And he moved in, which hurt him. If he had just held his ground, he may have gotten away with it.
Barley's a good free throw shooter. Shows it there. Caps a three-point play. And gets his team back within 11. Here come the Hokies, though. They got a 3-on-2.
Well, they use the floor, Brian.
Watlington brings it back out. That was tipped away by Canisius.
Oh, no, it was deflected.
Let's see.
Yeah,
oh, I thought it was, too.
I'm with you.
That got knocked away by Kevin Thompson, I thought.
Well, we could be right and wrong. That happened to me a lot in the sidelines. They don't change them. Don't you guys talk to one another?
Meeks thought about dishing it to Wise. Now Barley on the cut through. Custis clears it off.
Barley's showing some hops as he gets to the goal a little bit, huh?
I knew that was coming eventually.
An Irishman's delight.
6 minutes left first half. 27-16 Virginia Tech.
I talk about old-fashioned basketball, passing the ball, everybody touch. Canisius very sound, always between the man and the basket. Very basic defensively, and that's why they keep people down.
With 6 on the shot clock, Watlington lets go and nails another. 4 threes first half for Damon Watlington. Just what Canisius does not need is a hot shooter from the outside. Virginia Tech has already played well enough to get Watlington a dozen points all outside the arc's got to be killing him. Here's a three-pointer for Canisius. Meeks picks up the air ball and is foul going back up with it.
I think they're going to give him the ball back, Brad. They didn't call the foul. But doing a good job as they cut to get an inside offensive rebounding position.
Sean Smith back in. Chris Young will check in for the Golden Griffins, who have not been able to connect outside yet. And those 4 for 4s are Damon Watlington's.
And they are deep, too.
Nice penetration, trying to leave it for Wise, and now we've got the charging foul, as that time David Jackson did hold his ground.
Pretty good read, huh? Tough little player.
He learns quick, huh?
He sure does. Get him set. And they'll ice over him on the offensive end. Nice little player.
Some full court pressure. And now Good's going to bring it up against Young.
Here's the old pro box set. Screen down.
Try to double team and trap. Jackson Madison, but he got it underneath to Sean Smith.
Great look, and you saw the area, all the defense up above the foul line, the drift, the baseline.
Now the lead is swelled, 16, the biggest margin of the night for Virginia Tech, and we're under 5 minutes first half. Canisius in a heap of trouble, and they better be glad they're a good comeback team. Meeks in low. Whoa, look out.
Oh, he should have held on. Michael.
On the floor.
Don't let the guy fall. It's on the floor as well. But just the thought of getting it inside, a good call from the bench. And right here, and he wants to get the 2 shots, I'm sure, but you got to hold on to the guy. He rolled all the way across the shoulder and down.
Wise around a pick. Big time looking shot there. 9 for Wise, a quiet 9 because his team's been quiet. They trail by 14.
And they played some good teams during the course of this year. This is a confident team. Cincy, Bradley jumped to mind, Penn, GW.
They were down 20 against Cincinnati in the second half and won that game. So they know how to come back, and that's something they're going to have to bank on a little bit. And John's going to have to talk to him a little bit at halftime about that very thing. Watlington, don't give him an inch.
This is where he's tough. In that lane.
Threw it away, though. Young comes back the other way. 4 on 2. Moore tried to leave it off. It's picked up underneath, and Wise is in double figures.
And David he really understands the game. He got back, got in the passing lane, just couldn't come up with it.
32-20. Hokies have led throughout. Underneath is Jackson. He missed again in closer. A little bit too much spin on his shots. And on the other end, he picks up a foul, and you know he's frustrated by what went on the other end.
What a great hold off on the post, and then they threw it to the corner of the backboard, and as you noted, just unable to convert down this end. And they're getting it in to Michael Meeks, and now he's got to do something. Now here's the play. Steps his man up, and they throw it to the corner of the glass, and that kiss, not rewarded.
So Michael Meeks out of Brampton, Ontario, steps up. You saw his numbers. Good free throw shooter, but didn't come down with it there. He still has not scored, and he's been huge. He's averaging 22 points and 7 rebounds through the NIT's 3 games to this point. That's his first point of the night. Virginia Tech, the Hokies on top and riding high right now. Tall in the saddle, up 11 with 3:29 to go in the half. Virginia Tech has never trailed. 32-21 with 3:29 to go here in the semifinal. Canisius, here's how they got here. They beat Seton Hall. Meeks with a big double-double. First time they've been able to handle Seton Hall. Defeated Bradley. Wise with a tip in just at the buzzer. Then over to Washington State, 89-80. And for Virginia Tech,
there's the good father, Brad. Well, we get back to Virginia Tech. You know, when the priest is still on the bench at the end of the year, you got something going.
It's good to have.
When they stop talking to you about mid-season, you better look for a sneaker job.
Well, I don't know if anybody's going to confession at halftime, but they're down 11.
And they may have to. Good step in.
Good, got it to go, and a chance for a 3-point play. Up. Basket's good. Foul on good. Okay.
Now, wipe the goal out, though, right? Nice defensive stop. And good read. We mentioned basic defense. So if the guard gets beaten outside, he'll keep hustling if somebody's going to step up and reinforce.
34-21 with 3 to go in the half. Meeks looked outside. Boy, they just collapse on him.
And Custis doing a nice job banging him out a step further.
Marley. Nice baseline drive. Nice lean in as well to finish it off.
They're hanging around. 11.
Good, wanted to pack it into Smith. They come out to Custis, and it's stolen away. Here comes Wise, the dish. Barley lost the handle. Wise got it back and scored.
What a great shot selection, too. If he went with the right hand, it would have been blocked. sort of fumbled that fast break.
Yeah. Got it back to single digits. Remember, it was 16 a little while ago. Now with 2:10 left in the half, 34-25. Custis, that's his move.
Some answers, don't they? In or out?
Virginia Tech so solid fundamentally. I told Bill Foster yesterday at the press luncheon, I don't think I've seen a team all year, especially when you're only dealing with 6 guys who are so solid in every facet of the game. They kind of showed that tonight again.
Well, you've got time with them.
That's right. They learn those fundamentals. Again, a triple team on Meeks. Smith pulls off the miss.
They're going to have to dive people, and he's going to have to find them. They're not shooting the ball that well outside. They've been able to drive, but if you can just dive somebody, he might get the cutter.
Virginia Tech, here's how they got here, defeating Coach Foster's old team, Clemson, as Watlington had a big night, as he has had so far tonight. Then over Providence, and Good was better than that, 9 out of 15 from the floor. And then New Mexico State, Custis, who's been averaging a double-double, with 18 rebounds in that one. Jackson missed badly outside, and here comes Bam Moore. Young, great three-point shooter. Doesn't get that one, though. Smith off the miss with another rebound. His 5th. The hot hand tonight has been Watlington as far as an outside shooter, and he's got it in hand. And they know he's been hot. They push him. Moore picks up the foul.
Now with Custis in the game too, there's some opportunities to move him outside. Then he slides into the post area. I think that's where he can do a lot of damage. He's got a few inches on his defender. What a solid player. What do you have on your arm, by the way? You got a Jack? King?
Yeah. I'd double down if I was him with the way he's been playing.
Never split tens.
No, there you go. Down to the final minute of play, first half. Watlington tries it too.
Understands. I got the guy in his back, a little dip ahead.
Watlington hasn't missed. It's his first 2-pointer of the night, though. 38-25. Young on the baseline. Comes up short. Smith, his 6th rebound. Big fella's been big on the boards. Hillary will slow it now, as Virginia Tech can play for the final shot.
I just see the big guy looking at the clock to make sure. Smith didn't want to shoot it.
John Saunders and Digger Phelps coming up at halftime, which is about 10 seconds away. Custis knocks it away, and Virginia Tech, guilty of more turnovers than they'd like, is about the only thing they have done wrong so far tonight. Digger will have his Final Four analysis. John Amaechi, a feature on the Penn State Center, we'll see later. And UNC signs a gem. That's coming up after this final shot from the Golden Griffins. And Barley, he stepped on the sideline. He did. Didn't get the shot away.
And Virginia Tech, excuse me, Brad, Bill Foster was upset at that pass at this end. They really didn't want him to gamble. That's the first time he stood up and said anything. Just asked his guys to think.
I'd try to get this thing in Watlington's hands. Custis will just let go and got the net. Not bad. It's been a bad half, though, for Canisius. But again, they are a great come-from-behind team. And John Beilein's going to have to tell them that in the locker room. It's 38-25, Virginia Tech, as they have led throughout. That's our halftime scores. We send it back to the studio and John Saunders. John?
All right, Brad.
Garden in our first semifinal of the night, and the Hokies of Virginia Tech have led this one throughout. 38-25. We welcome you back to New York, everybody. Brad Nessler, Bill Raftery. Brad, Virginia Tech came in here. They do not have a lot of players. They have nobody in foul trouble, and they got a kid named Damon Watlington. He might be Damon, but he's been a demon so far in this game, hasn't he?
Oh, they give the ball up so well and find the open man. I mean, it's amazing. The bounce to the good jumper is fine, but it's the extra pass that they've been making, and he's been like...
Hasn't missed.
No, just sensational. Unerring.
4 for 4 on the threes, 5 for 5 for the half. 14 points. And you take a look at that field goal percentage for Canisius, and they just can't settle for that and expect to do anything, especially when they're 0 for 9 outside the arc. Points in the paint. Canisius has the edge there. You pointed something out, though. We don't put assists up there. Canisius has very few of those, too, Raph.
They got 4 and 11, which tells you something about the Hokies and Bill Foster's limited group. 6 people, maybe 7, huh?
Yep.
If the guy smiles, he might let him in.
So far, it's been 6. that have played for Virginia Tech. Canisius, though, we said 10 times in the last 2 years they've been down double digits and been able to come back to win. Custis, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Kind of a quiet night for him. You talk about quiet points, so Craig Wise was the man that did the majority of the scoring for the Golden Griffins, and they're going to need a lot more of him before it's over.
And they need a lot of Meeks, don't they?
Meeks has done nothing.
0 for 7, and has had some good touches.
Here we go, second half. Whoever comes out on top in this one will meet the Penn State Marquette winner for all the NIT marbles on Wednesday. Jackson comes up with a steal on Canisius opening possession. Not what they were looking for.
No, not a good look against the 2-3 zone. You got to be sure the guy is wide open.
Try to pick up their defense. Trying a little half-court trap. Custis around a Smith pick. Smith goes right back, follows the ball to the basket, and scores.
You force him into a tough shot, you got to come up with it. Canisius a little bit tardy.
15-point Hokie lead.
I'm sure they're optimistic, Canisius, because of their past history coming from behind. But this is a solid defensive team.
Barley's 3 won't go. Meeks will keep it alive. Meeks just can't find a field goal. And this is a guy averaging 22 a game in the NIT. Here's a guy who hasn't missed yet. Still hasn't.
Oh,
kidding me?
The opening replay at halftime was off the dribble, and that one in traffic. He is tough when he gets his toes on painted wood.
Largest lead of the night now as it's ballooned to 17. 42-25. Wise had a look, gave it up, and drove on Custis. Got his own rebound. He'll go to the free throw line.
He's trying to be creative. That was a tough shot. He happened to get away with it as Craig followed his own. But down in that low area, good defensive performance all evening long by Travis Jackson. He's been all over Meeks. They're going to give him a blow maybe just to get in his head a little.
Meeks sits. Collins, who did the nice job in the first half off the bench, will take his spot. Craig Wise, student teaching this semester, we understand. The #2 all-time scorer in Canisius history. 14 for the Knights. 1,772 for his career. Not bad, huh?
No, I'll say. A lot of people in that league think he's got a legitimate shot.
A little bit of half-court heat from the Canisius defense. Virginia Tech was sitting pretty with no foul trouble, but they do throw that one away. Wise tipped it. Barley got it right back to Wise on the drive.
Terrific pass to the center of the floor. And they need something on the extended defense now. Create some offense off some steals.
They might need Wise to have a 40-point night for them to have a chance to win this game.
He wouldn't object to that.
No.
Particularly with Meeks sideline. They're not out now, but not contributing.
He's got 17 with a little over 17 and a half to go. Jackson backs in. Good move across the paint. Drew a foul.
You see all the room he has to work. No matter who catches the ball, they don't bring their guy into the area. And one of the few mistakes all evening here is the ball is tipped. Good read defensively. And this pass, I mean, that had to be on the money. The preference would have been a bounce pass, but it worked.
On the other end, Virginia Tech sees Meeks come back in and sees their center, Travis Jackson, go to the free throw line. 7 points tonight, already over his average. He had 8 rebounds in the first half as well.
That's about 5 a game. 4.6.
He looks like a tight end to you. He was an all-state tight end in football in high school. Got that kind of body. 6'8", about 245. And he has 8 points on the night.
Come on, Michael Meeks. Get moving.
Barley on the move on the baseline. That was a sweet move.
Oh, I'll say. A little spin to the center of the floor. But even there, you saw the good defensive stand.
Double team on Watlington. It's one guy that Canisius would just as soon see not touch the basketball. Because every time he hasn't missed. Big house.
And they were at 12, and they go right inside. Solid offense.
8 for Smith. And Moore clears everybody out and sets it at the point. 6-foot sophomore. I've seen this tournament as a youngster growing up. Here's Wise around the pick. Didn't get the roll on the three. Meeks missed the stick back, and Jackson has just matched a career high in rebounding. 9 for the night for Travis Jackson.
Well, you got to make those shots, don't you, Brad? I mean, wide open look.
They missed a lot of those, too.
Can't do much more, and they get Travis with a little knocked down as Meeks tries to contribute at that end.
Jackson picks up his second. And Meeks still looking for a field goal. All MAC player. 7 double-doubles this year alone, 19 in his career, and he's going to have double nothing the way things are going for him. 1 free throw is all he's got to show for the night.
He will be humble of heart if he doesn't get off the schneid here.
Wise just inside the three-point line. And again, he's the man that they're going to have to continue to go to. 19 for Craig. Leads a dozen. Custis pushed a little bit on his drive.
You notice the spread there, too, able to open corner. The availability in the post for a pass, which he was about to convert.
Virginia Tech showing a little bit of everything on offense tonight, and they show a 12-point lead. They have led throughout. We've got 15:57 to go. Of the Big East and the Big Ten here tonight. Lou Cartasecca and Judd Heathcote, both now retired, and we can officially say that about Judd. I said, Judd, when's the last time you go watch a game, not have to worry about going recruiting, and not have to care who wins a game? And he said maybe the second game he'll care because there's a Big Ten team in there. Front court looked like this so far. Wise has done it all, but Barley's tried to help. Meeks has been very meek and mild.
And those two big names in college basketball. Luke Cartasecca, I said to Judd, I have trouble understanding. He said, well, he ate peanut sandwiches all his life. That's his problem. And also John Bach was honored, as we noted, and Judd said he had trouble lifting his hand.
A couple of championship rings now, right?
With the Bulls, now with Charlotte.
Good outside, no good. Kept alive. Watlington really hustled for that rebound, and Jackson missed the baseline jumper. Canisius trying to run a little bit. Wise on the crossover dribble is fouled.
I thought he lost that ball on his own. And then maybe the nickel dimer.
I think Watlington thought the same thing. Watlington picks up his second foul.
Now Virginia Tech's got to keep playing. I mean, they can't slow down offensively. This team has great confidence. They're hanging. This goes, it's 10.
Moore on a miss. Jackson has a career-high boards, double figures. He had 9 against Virginia earlier in the year in a tight game against the Cavaliers, and now he's got his best rebounding game ever in a big game. NIT semifinal. Smith, nice spin, had it blocked. Barley got a hand on that and then picked up the loose ball.
Great play. So don't push and don't make a mistake. I mean, they're a solid basketball team.
See if they can get it back to 10.
Oh, for an open jumper, huh? That'll go down.
There goes.
All right.
You call it, Raft, a 3 by Barley, and we are in single digits, 45-36. Well, we told you Canisius knows how to hang around with people. Some of their folks at halftime are kidding us and saying they got them right where they want them. They're down 13.
I'm not sure John would agree with that.
Right. Smith backing in, kicks it out to Custis on the baseline. Rattled out, but it's tipped in by Good.
It's amazing. They get a good shot, and yet they have people in spots. And you watched them practice last week, and it's amazing. They play together all the time, so they have a great understanding.
They always know where their teammates are because they don't have a lot of rotation with their teammates. It's usually the same 5 guys and or 6 guys out there all the time.
The back screen, they take away the lob. Meeks was free. They don't get it to him.
Good, knocked it out. 16 on the shot clock, and here is that 6th guy, David Jackson, that will come in.
You mentioned Barley earlier, coming off the basketball, great reaction. Dow runs it down and able to push, and eventually that's set. He got that great look.
Craig Wise has 19. See if they try to free him up. Barley, nice spin. Can't get the scoop shot. It's a good-looking move, but he didn't have enough room to finish it. Smith all alone, takes his time, and is off the mark. Custis, though, there to clean up. Custis will go to the free throw line.
Well, Sean does make a few from 26. I think they'd rather Big House gets down underneath the basket, but even that, neck ball ends up in their hands. Right here. And just always solid on that offensive glass. Hold off well, get themselves in position to do some damage.
Barley picks up his 3rd foul, and Ace Custis will go to the free throw line. Ace, not a lot of scoring tonight for him, as he's their top scorer, averaging 16. 8 for the night right now, so he's halfway there. And there's the ace.
He can shuffle my deck anytime.
He's been shuffling at 38.7 minutes he's averaged in the NIT, and averaging 13 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's doing a little bit of everything.
When you look at this club, and you talk about Bill Foster and his staff, what an outstanding job. Chris Ferguson, Bob Hussey. Bob on the other side, a guy that coached at Belmont Abbey. There's a lot to be said for confidence in your own ability when you bring some head coaches in.
Young in the lineup, maybe they add a little offensive punch if they can free him up from 3-point range. Nice crossover dribble, but maybe he had to push the shot a little bit. Off the James miss. It's Virginia Tech the other way. Watlington, nice look to Custis, and he drew another foul.
Now there's a neck ball. And my center couldn't get up and get it off the rim. Oh, he just gets down the floor. Nice opportunity basket, and patient.
Meeks picks up the foul, gives us a chance to remind you, college basketball slam dunk and 3-point championship coming up this week on ESPN. You can look for Lawrence Moten and Sean Respert, Damon Stoudemire shooting threes. Some great slam dunkers as well. Plus, you'll see the women's 3-point shootout. Part 1 Friday, 7:30. Conclusion Sunday at 5. And Dick Vitale and I will be in the Final Four city to bring you that action.
And Brad, what a wonderful opportunity Lawrence Moten took advantage of. You know, a tough situation with the timeout. One of my favorite players.
Yeah, me too.
And he's persevered through. Things happen. A great career, and just able to step back, which you're supposed to do in life. So he's gotten a lot out of that program in his days at Syracuse.
Canisius trailing by 14 with 13 to go. Wise trying to take David Jackson inside and lost the handle.
He does hit the deck a few times in a game.
Does he ever? He'll lead the club in floor burns. That's what Bill Foster will tell you. And a timeout taken with 12 minutes, 54 seconds remaining in the ball game. It's been Virginia Tech throughout, and the Hokie fans have had a lot to cheer about. And Bill Raftery from Madison Square Garden in the semifinals of the National Invitation Tournament, 58th annual. And it's been Virginia Tech from the get-go at the Garden tonight, as they have led throughout. We only had one tie, in fact, and that was at 2-2. Now it's 50-36 with less than 13 to go. Excellent balance in the scoring column, again from Virginia Tech, which is another facet of their game. And part of that may be the fact that there's not a lot of guys that see action either, but I see a little zone here.
A little change after the timeout. The man was ineffective, but boy, did they get the right spot.
Ooh, good flies in, and it's swatted away by Collins.
Tough pass here. Ooh.
And a foul, and again Jackson hits the deck.
He's a scrappy guy, though. He came running a long way, and I thought he may have come up with it.
His brother Jim on the sideline out with a back injury. He's redshirted this year, and they'll have both the Jacksons next year. And as I said, if I do one of their games, I hope their numbers are completely different.
They certainly do look alike. Oh, steps. Well, Meeks can't get unraveled. He is. He's composed, though, but just lacking.
Wise is the only guy that's stepping up to the plate for Canisius. 19. The rest of the team has 17. That's tough.
Oh, when your mainstay struggles like this, Meeks around 17 a game. You said 22 in the tournament. Boy, you start to rely on that. A little trap out of the 2-3.
Around the perimeter go the Hokies with Custis taking the baseline jumper. Everybody touched it. 5 guys. 5th guy took the jumper and nailed it.
Equal distribution. A democracy. Digger can relate to that. El Presidente in waiting.
52-36. And if Canisius is going to make a run, they're going to have to start it pretty soon. Time is of the essence. 11.5 to go.
Well, this is the place where Red Holzman and the New York Knicks used to say, hit the open man. Well, get it around the horn. And Dave the Busher or Bill Bradley used to knock down
guys on the baseline right there.
Or Willis would get it in the hole, or Clyde the Glide would go to the goal. Likewise with the Hokies.
Young's three. Off the mark, good with a rebound. Virginia Tech just playing smooth and confidently so far in this game.
Well, you had an easy day with the Hokies anyhow. You didn't have very many bios.
That's right. Don't have to worry about a lot of numbers. Custis in low.
And the reaction defensively was there, but the quick move. Amazing how he can go in, out. He's so comfortable facing as well as with his back to the goal.
18-point lead's the biggest of the night. Collins outside. Might as well try a three. At least he was open. Smith with another rebound.
7-footers lead you to Tom Collins shooting threes.
And hold the cherry. Smith and Custis play catch and now bring it back out on top. Wisely. With 20 on the shot clock and 10:30 on the game clock. Smith pushed by Wise underneath.
Everybody, during the course of the year, this club took some good teams and tested them. Virginia, it was sort of a quiet kind of solid season.
Their only non-conference losses were to North Carolina, Illinois, and Virginia. They were all on the road. That's pretty good company. Got one team out in Seattle, and another one that almost made the Final Four, and then Illinois from the Big Ten. So they played tough with everybody.
And Jeff Jones, what a job, huh? Defensively, as they stepped up in the course of the year.
Custis made a tough catch in low as he was double teamed, but he threw it away trying to get it to Smith. On the other end, it's Van Moore for his first bucket of the night.
Well, when you're not a running team, it's not the first order of business, but I think now, by design, they got to push and try and get some quick hits. Takes away your patience when you're back.
Just by lack of time alone, they have to hurry everything a little more. Under 10 minutes.
Look at the cut.
Smith leaves it for good. Custis had a hand on it. Still a loose ball, but last touch by Good, out of bounds.
Oh, for good or for bad, it was a heck of a little play, and that's the knowledge that they seem to have and confidence. If I cut and I'm free, the post guy's going to find me.
Sean Smith will sit out with 11 rebounds for the big guy. And Travis Jackson will take his spot, and Jackson's in double figures in rebounds too. So you know who's owning the board so far tonight. That tells you right there between two guys.
Tell you, Smith could be an expensive guy in this city the way they charge for meals, huh?
Wise for three. That's only the second three-pointer that's gone tonight for Canisius, and they need a bunch more. Trailing by 13 at the 9-10 mark.
And they're going to trap out of this now. And just didn't step to the ball.
Collins knocked it away. Wise lost the handle again. He says it was tipped. Steve Olson agrees. One of our officials out of bounds. Meeks will check back in for the Golden Griffins.
I think the refs will have the night off. But an easy game for them.
Very easy.
And they don't jump people together on the one end, Virginia Tech, that is. So there's not the bodies banging that you normally might see. And Canisius has a nice little spread offense of its own.
Javon Moore, Bam Moore, if you will, at the point for Canisius. And we're down at 12 on the shot clock. Meeks still looking for a field goal. Still looking for a field goal. Jackson the rebound.
Now he's trying to force it in the goal. Soft, relax.
I don't think he has ever relaxed tonight, has he? Really?
No.
Timeout. Virginia Tech with 8 minutes 27 seconds remaining in the ball game. We'll take a timeout as well, with the Hokies leading by 13. 54-41. Michael Meeks has had a tough night, to say the least.
And not able to get himself in position. Travis steps in front, and when he finally does get a touch, this is almost like it doesn't really shoot it. I mean, you got to just catch the rim.
Kind of threw it up there.
Yeah, far side of the front rim is what you want on that shot.
0 for 10 night. And 16.6 points a game. He won't forget this one real soon.
Well, you got time to redeem yourself a little bit.
Down 13 with 8:20 left. Canisius will have to have a series of runs, a couple of them, and they'll start by fouling Custis. Moore got him.
Well designed. We talk about execution. Get the ball to the high post. Well, you have problems if there are people in the back, and they just emptied the back with a cut. Good, solid basketballs. You see Travis Jackson dragging his guy, and then you'll see the open opportunity right at the hole. So it's almost like a one-on-one, man-to-man situation, and the power to the goal.
And Custis, who's got a very quick first step. Jackson will sit. Smith comes in.
I asked Bill how he got that svelte look, and he said, just what I eat. We can follow suit. It might help us.
Yeah.
So he used to work out like crazy, and now not as much. Just chases the golf ball once in a while.
His club's up 15.
And that'll make you enjoy your summer, huh? When you get games like this. What did he say? Goes up to the mountains?
Yeah, North Carolina got a place up there, and a lot of golf.
Well, they're doubling now. They're really giving Michael Meeks. Can't gather that pit. And look at the cushion defensively.
Wise underneath is going to get a chance for a three-point play. He's been their only hope tonight.
I don't know how this ball got through, but a lot of traffic as Jack just didn't have the hands up high enough, then gets tagged. I believe that's number 4, isn't it?
Yep. Jackson picks up the foul of the ball, and Wise to the line. 24 in the night, make it 25.
Now, Bill's liable to slip one of those seniors from last year in here. If they have foul problems, they are decimated.
The lead on their side by a dozen. Watlington finally missed one. First time he shot this half, though. Barley, he'll try a triple. And Smith's got another rebound. What's he got, 12 of those tonight?
Not big though, right? I mean, it just takes up that area. I think Wallington had a little runner, didn't he, in the lane in the second half, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, he did. He's got 16 points. That's the first time he's missed there from outside. Jackson outside and one of his own. And off the backside, Damone James with a rebound. Gets it back, thought about a three.
They won't go away, will they?
Not quite.
Yeah, they've shown a lot of heart.
Now it doesn't. Don't forget, about 20 minutes after this one, we've got Penn State and Marquette. Our other semifinal. Barley glides in, but it's Watlington with a rebound. Damon Watlington has had quite a night. And the night's down to 6.5 minutes for Canisius if they can't close this gap, trailing by 12. A great season about to not necessarily end, because one of these teams goes to the consolation game anyway.
He's something, huh?
Wow.
Oh, that's like the shot he made in the beginning of the half, only a little further out.
18 for Watlington. On a one missed night.
You notice how they're running their offense at the other end, using clock, but if something good shows, they're ready to take it.
Meeks will take this one. Still no field goals, and Watlington back-to-back rebounds for the Hokies.
You're really rooting for him, aren't you? At this stage, he's a sound basketball player.
Jackson misses and goes down hard again as he collided with Meeks. No foul called. And the other Jackson, Travis, will check in. Just think, when they get Jim Jackson back, they'll have 3 Jacksons probably starting next year. Could drive you nuts, too.
Yeah, sure. 3 Jacksons and an ace.
One more ace and a full house. Down to 5:40 left in the ballgame. Watlington. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Now that's a deli release. You got all of that roll. Well, when you have touch and proper rotation, you'll get a few of these. Going left, he has been terrific, and even floats just a little bit. Well, you could do your nails by the time that one went down.
And now he's got a chance to make it a 3-point play. 8 for 9 from the field for Damon Watlington in his first trip to the free throw line. Came up short. Had an open shot there. That's what bothered him. Three-pointer for number 3. Ramon James way off the mark.
Got to shoot, though. You can't hang in games unless you complement your effort, your execution by ringing a bell.
No time left to wait either. Down near the 5-minute mark. And Canisius trailing Virginia Tech by 16. Good. Had it stripped in midair. Golden Griffins with numbers. The 5-on-2, and Jackson will foul Wise.
Well, that's that push up the floor that they need, and what a block at the other end. Whew.
Don't forget, coming up next, Penn State and Marquette, as we'll cap off our twin bill. And it looks like the Nittany Lions or Marquette will be facing Virginia Tech. At least that's the way it looks and has looked throughout this game. A 16-point lead for the Hokies. Bruce Parkhill, the Penn State coach, looking on, saying, boy, if we do get to the next game, it looks like we'll be taking on Bill Foster. Wise with 26. He's done his part.
And Bruce talking today about Joe Paterno, how good he's been to the program, great follower, loves it out there. Got that facility, he's going to be ready for the Big Ten season, he feels.
Gordon Center, they hope by the first week of January would be open. That'll be some kind of facility right out by Beaver Stadium. Boy, that'll be a sports complex with those two joints next to each other, huh?
And Bruce, when they first went to Big Ten, he didn't have the kind of talent, and yet provided some surprises. Indiana won. I was up at that game when they had that tough ball go against them near the penetration and the nick.
Wise picks up the foul.
But the finishes, they were 9-9, I think, in the Big Ten this year.
Yeah.
So he's got them back and healthy.
That's after being 2-16 the first go around just 3 years ago. Actually, 2 years ago.
Who's at William and Mary, had his brother Barry, who's at Virginia in the development office as an assistant.
Sean Good's night, 8-4. It was huge against Providence, 21 points. And there's the Jackson twins.
Wonder if they can sing like the other family.
They'll have the Jackson 3 next year in Blacksburg. They'll get their own concerts working.
They just got to get them each a glove.
62-45. Time running out on the Golden Griffins. They have given Western New York a lot of excitement and the city of Buffalo, but tonight things just aren't working except this guy.
I think back to Bob McKinnon being the coach up there in the 60s. Later, a very successful professional coach, now living in Florida, still does some work for the New Jersey Nets. And that program, and having competed and watched his teams play, I mean, they were as prepared, and that's what John brings to this club, is they get it inside, they've gotten the ball where you would like, but the inability to make shots makes it difficult.
First time that Canisius has been in back-to-back postseasons, last year and this year. First time since they went to 3 straight NCAAs back when I was sort of a gleam in Dad's eye. 55 through 57. They went 3 straight NCAAs.
I can't picture you being a gleam.
I can't either, really, now that I've said it.
And that mixing it up, little trap, and then they forget to regain on a pretty good shooter.
Watlington missed his second shot of the night. Young, they need his threes if they're going to get back in it. That's his first basket of the night. Comes at a good time. Cuts the lead to 11. All is still not lost. 62-51, just under 4 minutes to play. First game of 2 in the NIT semifinals, and Virginia Tech has led throughout. 3:57 left. They're up 11. Canisius, is their season coming to a close? It's certainly been a great one. 21-12 coming into this game. And you see their best records ever, and a win tonight would match last year's club for most wins, and also that 56-57 team I was talking about a little while ago.
Back with John McCarthy, I think, in that 56-57 era. I'm aging him maybe, but they had some talented guys.
First time they have ever won 3 straight postseason games, but it doesn't look right now like it's going to be 4. Virginia Tech has been up at least 10 points, except for the first 5.5 minutes of the game.
They're doing a good job spacing here, but look at Kenny. No, you don't want to foul them. They've done a great job up until 10 seconds left.
And they're 25 feet away from the hoop, and they pick up a foul with just 10 left on the shot clock.
You notice how far the Canisius kids had to run to trap, and that's the idea of deploying with some distance and then roll somebody to the goal.
And again, Virginia Tech just doesn't hurry anything. They keep their poise and move it around briskly. And Smith, an 8-point night, missed a free throw. Barley with the rebound.
It's almost a Temple-like attitude. You know, only Temple does more isolation, the pick and roll for Brunson.
Lo and behold, though, this could be a single-digit ball game if the Golden Griffins score. And they do, and it's Meeks.
Oh.
8-0 run by Canisius, and it's 62-53.
Pick up that luggage, huh? He has had a lot on his back all game.
A great big monkey just escaped off Meeks, who had an 0 for night. 0 for 10 before he hit that one. Now if they could come up with a defensive stop, it'd be huge.
And they don't get to the foul line. That's wide open on this trap.
Smith looks up at the shot clock, has time to go over to good.
Oh, it wasn't. Great look, and that's the difficulty. You're going to gamble defensively. You're going to give something up. You just hope they don't make the good pass.
I just made eye contact with Sean Smith. I kind of winked at him as if saying, nice thinking. He looked at the shot clock, realized that he had an open man, and then Good buried the jam. That's a lot of thinking when normally you don't have time to think that much. Wise for 3.
And they don't call the time. And get right back under pressure. Oh, almost a unforced turnover and then stopping the clock.
Wise picks up the foul in a hurry, and they don't want to lose him. He's down to his final foul. He's got 4, and he's also got 32 points, Raph.
What did you say earlier? They might need a 40-point night from him without Meeks.
They're only trailing by 8 now with 2:13 left. There is Wise, the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Player of the Year. Came in averaging 16 a game, just picked up his 4th foul.
You know, when you did that Providence game, they had a shot of the bench, and I remember Larry Conley saying to you, there are more ties over there than uniforms.
Are there ever?
It's amazing.
2-shot situation as Canisius is over the 10-foul limit, so everybody kind of hopped in the lane there. Smith missed the free throw. He'll get another.
Yeah, the coaches talk to one another about time, not who to put in. It's not a question of who to put in.
Yeah.
Should we put him in now?
I told Bill Foster yesterday, I said, Coach, it's like a hockey team changing lines, only you have one guy to send out there that can skate. 65-56. Young around a pick. Oh, what a 3 that was.
Great little double stagger for Young.
The lead is sliced to 6. Maybe the Golden Griffins did have the Hokies right where they wanted them. Smith fouled. Young made sure. And then Smith lands on Young's left foot. He got it right in the small of the back. And Young there to help him up. Good sportsmanship, those two guys.
I mentioned to you that foul area. Great positioning. We get just a cut in here and the ability to go strong to the goal, and a nice sportsmanlike play as Young makes sure there isn't an injury. Here's the double on the other end.
How big was that 3?
Got him right back at it.
Here's Smith on the drive, and Young made sure. And he sends a guy to the line that not only is getting up slow in Sean Smith, but he was only 1 for 4 from the stripe tonight. And he might have fouled the right guy, is what I'm getting at. 1 for 5 now for Sean from the free throw line.
And not bad numbers on that line either.
Even if he makes this one, it's a 7-point game, which it is, and a timeout. Virginia Tech takes it. Bill Foster's going to talk to his troops who have seen their lead sliced from 18 down to 66-59. 7-point game. Canisius huddle. John Beilein, their 42-year-old coach, is telling his troops to make a beeline for the ball. They're only down 7 now with 1:51 left, almost unbelievably. And each team, 1 timeout remaining. Virginia Tech shooting 2 the rest of the way. Canisius will at least be at the foul line the next time the Hokies pick up a personal, and Virginia Tech has the possession arrow.
And they can get the 2, Brad. You mentioned the 3 possession situation. Get the 2. Get a half-court trap has been magnificent. Virginia Tech sort of out of a flow and not getting the open opportunities.
Wise, he's been the man. 32 on the night.
There's another staggered double for a jumper.
Got Wise around a pick, but he was double-teamed immediately by Virginia Tech. Meeks, short, Wise, saved it.
He's done a heck of a job all night long. You mentioned the points. How about defensively helping one another in that time? The save. Very heady play.
See why he's a player of the year in the conference.
Now you want to make Canisius use clock.
Wise thought he had that one. Good follow through. Barley keeps it alive. Moore outside. Too strong. Barley again. A couple of big rebounds by Barley. Wise filling it. Coming up short.
I don't know why you got to go for the 3s. Now it started with what, minute 54 to go. You get the 2, get set. You got them on the ropes in their offense.
Michael Meeks picks up his 3rd foul. And 2 free throws coming up for Sean Good on the other end.
You know what happens a lot, too? If you go for the 2, you sometimes get the 3 on that kick-out pass.
That's right.
They're paying attention to the post guy quite a bit.
Instead of just worrying about the perimeter, try to get it down inside. As it is, Sean Good, 2 for 2 tonight from the stripe. There's a guy that's had a rough night for Canisius, Michael Meeks.
And this backcourt's been solid. Good, and Watlington lighting it up. I mean, just sound.
14 now for Good. And Watlington with 20. That's who Raft is talking about, the backcourt for the Hokies. 34 points between them in a solid floor game. Young, off-balance 3. Barley tried to find a handle on the weak side, but Custis pulled it down, and he is fouled. And Meeks picks up another one. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday night, I want to remind you, Dickie V's primetime performers. Dick Vitale and John Saunders will hand out Dickie V's season-ending college basketball awards, including the All-Rolls-Royce Team, the Human Eraser Award, Ma Bell Award, the Maestro Award, and many others. Saturday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. That's coming up from Seattle here on ESPN, and coming up yet tonight, the second of our twin bill NIT semifinals. Penn State and Marquette will follow this one, which, even though it was in a little bit of doubt, we're under a minute now, and it's a 10-point Virginia Tech lead. It looks like the Hokies are going to the final game here in Madison Square Garden on Wednesday night.
It was one of these games where you could have put the wrap on it early, except in Canisius, stout-hearted men.
We almost put the wrap on it prematurely. I did. I take it back. Canisius hung in tough throughout the game. Wise trying to keep it alive, and last touch by Jackson out of bounds to the Golden Griffins. They finished in a second-place tie with St. Peter's in the MAC at 10-4, 21-12. Their overall record coming into this one, but it looks like 21-13 will be what they have when the night is over. Custis blocks Meeks big time.
Not a good play there. Not as sound as good as been all night. Oh, my goodness, huh?
Wise missed in close. He's got to be tired. He's gone the whole way and carried the load offensively. And now a foul. Damone James.
And, Brad, you mentioned St. Peter's, the MAC Conference. Everybody's opinion of it has risen when you think of Manhattan's good performance and St. Peter's. Great championship run, and
Manhattan closed the mouths of the doomsayers who said they didn't belong in the other tourney.
And this club here, Canisius, I mean, not an easy out in those 3 teams.
Virginia Tech right on their average. Second in the Metro, free throw shooting, and doing exactly the same tonight. Custis will come out. His night appears over.
Well, every club could use an ace.
He's got 18 points again. I mean, it just doesn't jump out at you. But he usually is in double figures in points and rebounds, and he gets very close sometime in assists as well.
Roughly 11 rebounds a game, and he's not an overpowering kid. And would you say this might be Dean's List?
I don't know. if that's a real tattoo, that kid's financial aid from home's cut off, I bet.
If it is, it was stopped long ago.
It's a 12-point ball game. James misses. Down to the final 20 seconds. Scramble still on. Young will go up with a three. Almost banked one in from an unlikely spot.
He plays hard, though. Saw that effort right to the end there.
Well, the Virginia Tech Hokies, in their 7th NIT appearance, they won the whole ball of wax in '73, and they're going to get another opportunity to play for a championship. Jackson, final shot. And an undermanned Hokie team with only 6 players showed up well again tonight. So Virginia Tech with a 12-point win over a gutsy Canisius Golden Griffins team. 71-59 is the final in this semifinal, and that means the Hokies go on to Wednesday night's championship round at Madison Square Garden. Their opponent, will it be Marquette or Penn State? We'll be finding that out as the start of that game is about 20 minutes away. That's going to wrap up game 1, though. Final score, again, Virginia Tech a winner over Canisius. And now let's send it back to the studio and John Saunders. John?